Today, we're going to talk about the 11 sectors of the stock market. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mauli Vodi with financiallypresent.com, your place for finance and investment education. And today we're talking about the 11 sectors of the stock market. See, there are hundreds and thousands of stocks in the market, and it's hard to sift through if you don't have buckets to put them in. And there are 11 specific buckets or sectors that we put them into. You also have to consider that there are industry groups and sub-industries and so many other smaller buckets, but the larger buckets are 11 sectors that the markets or the stocks all fall into. And it's important to note that even if one company is in a particular sector, it doesn't mean that they can't fall into another sector. But the 11 sectors are very helpful in organizing them. Number one, energy. So think of companies related to oil and gas production or distribution, or even the transportation of those items. We are still in a very heavily oil and gas related or reliant society. So this is a very consistent sector. Number two, materials. Think raw materials like chemicals or glass or paper, all types of items like lumber. Those are all materials, and the distribution of them help with the materials sector. Everywhere you look around you, there are materials. They're either taken from raw materials or they are the exact raw materials themselves. And that sector is very consistent. The only thing it has to depend on is the supply chain or the production of those items. Number three, industrials. Think of aerospace companies or defense companies, construction vehicles, and the production of these items, or shipping companies. They are all tied to the industrial sector, and they also use a lot of materials. Number four, consumer discretionary. So this is important. This sector is what we call very elastic. It's very sensitive to income. So as people have more and more income, they have more discretion over their money, and they are more willing to buy companies within this sector. And these companies would be car companies, vacation or hotel related companies, companies where you spend money as you have higher income. If you don't have increased income, you are less likely to spend in these particular companies. Also, cruise lines would fall in as well. Number five, consumer staples. These are your items that you cannot go without. So we're thinking of things like food, drink, beverages, tobacco, toiletries, soap. These are items that we need regardless of our income status. Number six, healthcare. So companies related to providing health services. It could be a healthcare insurance company, companies that provide medical services or medicine or even vaccines and just products related to healthcare services. Number seven, financials. So of course, banks. When you think of consumer banks, or whether they're large investment banks or brokerage firms that help people or allow people to invest and manage money, things of that nature, they all fall under the financial sector, and they're very sensitive to interest rates. Number eight, IT, or information technology as we know it. These are the hardware and the software items that are driven through companies, and this is what this sector is about. So whether it's the computer that you're using or the smartphone that you're using, those are the hardware items and the chips in them. But then the software are more of the processing portion of it. So the applications and the programs that are run on these devices, they all fall under the IT sector. This tends to be one of the most volatile sectors because there's a lot of growth and there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to IT. Number nine, communication services. So media companies, telecommunication companies. Think or consider of companies where you watch TV or they provide TV channel services, streaming services, interactive gaming. All of these fall under communication services, including social media. Number 10, utility sector. Consider your homes where you have gas, electric, water. Companies that provide those services or distribute those services They all fall under the utility sector. These are things that we all need to keep the lights on. And lastly, number 11, real estate. So think of companies tied to real estate development, property management, and even real estate investment trusts. These are all part of the real estate sector. And that's also tied to finances and raw materials and construction services. But the real estate sector is its own, and it is the last of the 11. A well-balanced investor would be involved in all of these 11 sectors. And it's not like you would just buy one in each. That's still very risky, I would say. You have to look at the industries and the sub-industries, but there's so much more to these sectors than one or the best company. You got to think outside of that when you want to diversify. If you found this video helpful, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more valuable content. Once again, until next time, this is not just a state of mind, but it is the place to be. Stay present.